Hey Duck fans, Matt Walks, sports editor of the Emerald, Isaac Rosenthal, digital editor. We're here at University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, where in just a couple days the number 4 Oregon Ducks are going to play the number 5 Kansas State Wildcats in this year's BCS Fiesta Bowl. Isaac, what do the Ducks need to focus on to ensure a back-to-back BCS win?
When you talk about Kansas State, the talk needs to start with Colin Klein. He's a Heisman Trophy finalist at quarterback, 15 touchdowns through the air, but 22 touchdowns, Matt, on the ground. And he's not the kind of running quarterback that's going to bust off 50-yard runs here and there. His season long is something in the neighborhood of about 30-35 yards. But what he does so effectively is those runs on 3rd and short and in the red zone. And if you're getting Kansas State in opportunities where they have 2-3 yards to go on 3rd down, you got a fullback running a quarterback draw. They're going to pick up the 1st down. So if you can limit the distance on 3rd down and not let them convert on 1st or 2nd down, you're going to really be able to limit Colin Klein's ability. But once he gets in the red zone, 19 of his 22 touchdowns this year have come on plays that start in the red zone because they run those design quarterback run plays. They have an extra blocker for him. And then passing the ball, even though he only has 15 touchdowns, which is half of what Marcus Mariota has through the air, he's a really effective passer too, and they have 3 500-yard receivers on that team. Really good receiving core too. So you got to contain Colin Klein. You got to just stay disciplined, not try and over-pursue, and play a physical defense because they got a good offensive line too.
I agree. The Wildcats' chances pretty much rest on Klein's shoulders in his last collegiate game. He was very vocal in media day about what he thought Kansas State needed to do to upset the Ducks. He said they needed to minimize turnovers and penalties and finish drives. It's funny how similar these teams are when you talk about their focus and their discipline, because everyone says, Kansas State and Oregon, they're so different, new school, old school, the coaches have such a contrast, but when it comes down to it, they're just 2 very, very good football teams that score a lot of points this year.
And Oregon has the high-scoring offense. Kansas State also averages in the neighborhood of 40 points a game. And a lot of that is Klein. If you can stop that, and then on the offensive side of the ball for the Ducks, what Baylor was able to do to be so successful offensively is spread the ball to multiple running backs. And I think Oregon has some options at running back they can give the ball to, so they can be successful if they can, use that strategy and really get the ball to a lot of different playmakers and just tire Kansas State out the way they've been able to do to really everyone they've played, with the exception of that Stanford game.
So I'm going to ask you to lay it out all on the line here. Your prediction for the Fiesta Bowl this year?
I think in the end, I think the Ducks are able to roll. I think that it'll be a close game, but it's going to turn on an interception like we've seen so many games for the Ducks this year. And again, with all that talk about that offense, the Ducks lead the nation, Matt, in interceptions. So Colin Klein's not going to make a lot of mistakes, but if the Ducks can get him to make one, they can get that and get maybe a 2-touchdown lead at one point. That might not last, but I think they win by about somewhere between 10 and 14 points.
I'd have to agree with you. We'll see how it all shakes out in a couple days. We'll have all the coverage on dailyemerald.com.